Okay, so it's live, connected to YouTube. Alright, a bit of a delay, but it should connect. Should be on YouTube here in a second. Let's go ahead and see if I can figure out how to share my... I don't know how to get my Rumble URL for sharing on Rumble. Okay, looks like I found it here. Let's close that down. Should be live on Kick. Yep, we're live on Kick. Heck yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and get some links, drop them in Discord here. Can't see over my microphone. There we go. Alright, we got options. We got options. Alright, there we go. So we got set up on Kick, Rumble, YouTube, and Twitch. I'll be checking the chat for Twitch. I won't be on chat in the other platforms. I'm not sure if it's actually streaming to YouTube. Let me confirm. Yeah, it looks like there's a hold up there. Hang on, guys. So I apologize. Yeah, multi-stream's pretty straightforward. The problem I have is just figuring out how to share all the links to the different live streams, because YouTube and Rumble, it looks like they generate unique URLs for the live stream. So you can't just use the same one. Thank you. Thanks, honey. It looks like they don't use it looks like they don't some of these platforms, they'll just have your twitch.tv/ your username, and then you can just use that for your live stream. That'll take people to it. All right, I'm gonna go to my Rumble setup here. I'm gonna see if I can fix it to work on. It should simulcast or multicast or whatever you call that to. It should be going to YouTube. I don't know why it's not. Come on, YouTube. Oh wait, yeah, we're live. Oh yeah, we're good. Cool. It should simulcast or multicast or whatever you call that to. It should be going to YouTube. I don't know why it's not. Come on, YouTube. I don't know what I'm gonna have to update my links. Can you check? Hang on. Can you check YouTube? Can you click on the YouTube link in the server and just see if it pulls up my stream? Because I got two different links. I'm not sure which one's correct. Whoa. Hang on. All right. There you go. Okay. All right. Looks like we're live on both places, though. Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and just, I don't know. Can you check these two YouTube links real quick? Here, I'll send them to you. Make sure they're working. What am I doing? I guess I can click on those. Good grief. Hang on. My apologies. Visit site. Yeah, that's the second one works. Let's see the first one. Okay. Learning how to stream live. Okay, so this one's the correct one, so I got the wrong one on the server. Sorry. Let me update that real quick. Edit message. Alright, there we go. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I got you. All right, let's get to work here. I got to get this this thing done ASAP. All right. Okay, so I fixed the migration. Let's go back to our page here. Let's wrong screen. So what I need to implement is I need to implement what I have is in my page here. If I go to, oh, you know what? I gotta fix this too. There's something wrong with my cart count. All right, let's do that. Let me make a quick note though on the side here. Oh, you can't see, but I'm just making notes here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get, right now when I add products, the cart doesn't update, so I'm just gonna make a quick note to update cart total quantity. Actually, let me do it this way. Cart total quantity is not reflecting current order total count when I add products. Should be maybe take a look. What might be causing? The other thing is, okay, I'm gonna go over here and have this guy get to work on that. I'm gonna come back over here, and then let's. The other issue is. The other issue is I need to have I need to start locking things. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait on it to figure out what it's doing, and then I'm going to try to go quickly scan through my code changes. If you have any questions, I'm in Twitch chat. For anybody who's watching on any platforms, if you want to chat or ask questions, please come over to Twitch chat slash dangerous bit wrangler. I'm going to add that on as like an overlay, I think, here to my stream so that people can see it. I'm actually going to call my little brother. He's going to walk me through it here in a second. Alright, what the heck is Claude Code doing here? I see the issue now. Cart icon button component fetches the cart count independently, but it doesn't get notified when the cart changes. The best solution is to create a reactive cart store, then update. Yes, that is correct. So the count is going to create a subscribe, and then whenever that gets set, it's going to update the store, which is a writable number type. That's loud. Hey.
Hello, older brother.
Hey, what's up?
Dangerous bit wrangler.
What's up, youngin?
So, if you go to OBS.
Okay.
So you have the scenes, and then you have the elements in the scenes. I forget what they're called.
Sources.
Yeah, thank you. So you'll go to sources. So once you make one, I would suggest adding it to all your scenes, right? The desktop, the full cam, all that.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to add a scene, I think it's the very bottom. It's like other or something, and then you can add a text overlay. It'll probably ask you to create new, so you could add like chat link or something for a name of it. And then you should be able to add it. You could add two if you want to try to stack them on top of each other. Like
okay, so add a source of type what? Oh, text, free type. Right?
What's that in?
So basically add a source of type like of text.
Correct.
And then let me, okay, text. So I want to do my Twitch, just my channel.
I would probably put like at symbol or something like that, and then your Twitch link.
What kind of?
To not get banned on your other ones, and so you want to drive the traffic of individuals to speak through Twitch. So
wait, so what did you say? At?
You could do chat at or something like that.
Oh, chat at, and then my
chat.
And then my Twitch URL.
Yeah, and I was thinking if you want to stack them, because I'm not familiar on how to fix the alignment to make it like if you want to add multiple lines. But you could add 2 or 3 different chat ones if you wanted to, because I think it only does like landscape style. Like I don't, or maybe you could do 2 lines. I'm not sure.
Okay, hang on. Let me,
And you should move it around.
what the heck is chat log mode? Anyways, I'm not going to mess with that right now. Select font. I'm going to make the font, like, bold, I think. No, it just has normal. It doesn't have bold. Okay, that's fine. I want to do something though that's kind of, yeah, I like this font. I just don't know if the color should be fine. Most of my windows are pretty dark.
You could also two-tone it. There's one tone for the top half, one for the lower. If you want to try to make it fade so it stands out a little bit. But if white is best, use white. Because I'm the same way. And I would try to, if you can, make it small and probably over your cam, just so people can still see your code and what you're doing. I mean, you don't have to. I'm just throwing that out there.
I think I'll put it in the bottom left corner. I think that's more prominent.
Whatever works.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. And then I'm going to create, let's see.
I would probably get rid of the TTS, or HTTPS.
Okay.
You could just do twitch.tv/.
Yeah, I'll get that in a second here. Bear with me. Remove, delete. Actually, no, I don't have to create a flippin'. Actually, I got this. I got an idea. Okay, so that works. Okay. Duplicate. Duplicate.
So
why won't it duplicate?
If you go to each of your other scenes
and
you go to create a new one, you can add existing, I believe.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let me try that. Okay, there you go. It's, of course, it's huge, so that's kind of sucky.
I like to realign it.
Yeah, but I don't. That takes too long. Let me try to duplicate it.
Oh, because you're on Linux.
I don't think it's because I'm on Linux. I think that's just how it works. When you add it, when you reuse existing, it's just gonna use the original text with that formatting.
If you have a regular PC, you can transform very quickly with your mouse. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I can do that too. It just because it's text and it's long, it takes a while to adjust the size. Does that make sense? Like it takes a while to drag because it's so long.
If you shrink it, it'll go quicker. Do you use your mouse on Linux? Because I remember you struggling because you had to go to transform and do it manually or something.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I use my mouse.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just do Twitch. Yeah, remove all the HTTP stuff. Okay. Now, if I could just figure out how to get this. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to add another scene. Yeah, that works. Okay. Add another scene. We're almost there. Oh, yeah, you can't see that. Oh well. It won't be perfect, but at least it'll be visible in most windows and views. Okay, cool. So it's on pretty much every... I wonder if I can change the formatting of the text. let's see here. Okay, so you can do like the bottom and the top. That's kind of cool. I like that. That works.
That might change all of your existing elements that are like that.
Well, it makes it kind of slightly more visible, but not really. It looks kind of cool, but
That's actually probably good, the two-tone, because your full cam has a white background, but that's fine. You have it green highlighted.
I was kind of hoping to do an outline. Oh, there we go. There's an outline. Cool. Yeah, let's try that. Let's see how that looks. Meh. Good enough. It kind of it's not going to be visible everywhere, but
Okay, any questions?
nope. I think that's it. That's pretty much. I'm going to move it up though and see if that works a little better. Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Have a good stream.
All right, later. Okay, let's see. I do not like that positioning. Okay, all right. Hopefully it's clear enough. People can see where that I'm at Twitch. Okay. Actually, I think I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna put it at the bottom left corner. I really don't want it blocking certain things, so you can see. All right, back to work. Let's take a look at what AI is doing here. Okay, so it's creating a store and then subscribe to store. And then it's just exporting the store properties, I guess, giving you a function to set a subscribe function, which I don't know why it doesn't just return this, and then refresh. Cleaned all that up. Okay. Importing cart item count and then refresh it whenever whatever this is doing. Reset quantity and update cart count. Okay, that's during the add to cart process. Okay, that's looking good. Refresh cart data and update cart count. That's products cart. That's the cart page. So on the cart, if you change the quantity, I guess that should also update the cart. That works. And then, cool. All right. Let's test it here in a second. Variable needs to be declared outside the function. Client service. Okay, that should be alright. Okay, let's check out our page. Let's go ahead and test it out. Let's go ahead and remove this. Alright, add to cart. Bam, bam, bam. That works. And then I don't know if I like this. I feel like I need to at least I don't know, show them that it was added to the cart. Show them that there's, you know, highlight this maybe. So when they're adding, they know that their cart's getting updated. Because it's so fast, you can't tell. And that's part of the problem. Let's see, let's go back. Guys, I actually don't know what to do here. You know what? I'm gonna revert it. Just have it take them to the, take them to the cart when they add a product. To not take the user to the cart when they a product. Let's save for a later time. Now I want it to take them to the cart when they add a product. They can always continue shopping. That should be a little better, the flow. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and try that. Sweet. I still don't like this. Let's try that. How do I make this text more prominent? Let's see. That works. Alright, so let's see here. We got Now the cart page will refresh. Okay. Perfect. Beautiful. All right. Sorry, I didn't switch over, so you couldn't see that if you're watching. All right, so okay, so on load, it basically just refreshes the count on that Svelte. I forget what they call them. It's a Svelte store. Yeah, Svelte store. It's like they're a way to store global things globally for the current session. The next piece that's really critical is we want to have, I'm actually going to leave these here in case somebody wants a link. What I want to do is have, I want to have the admin, okay, control. Let's go ahead and just test the flow. Let's just make sure things work. Okay, proceed to checkout, continuous guest. Okay, country code USA is not recognized. I know why that is. It's because the vendor store doesn't have it doesn't have a USA code set up for USA zone. It's like Jeopardy. Modify the vendor. Oh, you know what? Hang on just a second. Modify the vendor seed data to set the country code to USA. While that's waiting, I'm gonna go over here, copy my links. Okay. That's fine. I guess we'll just use US. Okay, yeah, ChatGPT, Claude destroyed my database this morning. Last night. I was working on something and then it just said, would you like me to remove the tables? And I thought, oh, it's just going to remove the ones that, the subset of tables that I'm currently working on to modify those. And what it did was it just dropped the entire database. And so I had to have it recreate everything. And well, not the database, not the tables, the schema, but the actual data. So I had to have it come up with a data seeding script to fix that. Okay. I am getting, so I know what the problem is, but I want Claude to fix it for me, because otherwise I have to go in and hand edit a bunch of files and find where it's creating the data, what's the data schema look like, and Claude is going to do it way faster. And I could technically go to the Claude backend, since I'm technically, let's see, oh no, I'm not logged in, so I can't really do that. Alright, so we'll just let that churn away, check, see if anybody's chatting, or nope, nobody's chatting, nobody's even here. I'm over at Twitch in case you want to chat, if anybody wants to drop in and say hi. I remember. Lazarus says remember. Oh, okay. Lazarus is giving me advice. Alright, so thank you, Lazarus. I'm well aware of that. But there might be other people on other platforms. I'm just telling them in case they're out there watching YouTube, Kick, or whatever. In case they want to interact or ask or talk or whatever. I know I added a link. You gotta come a long ways, buddy, if you want to come over here. I'll put my cowboy boots on and I'll wreck you. We'll get in the cow pen. We'll go at it. Let's see here. Okay, check for eligible shipping methods. Sure, why not? I just got to make sure it doesn't delete my database like it did last night. It will be worth it. Wow, that's a very weird syntax. I don't even know what this syntax means. What is this? Oh, this is bash script. If not this is not set to something. Okay, so if it doesn't find the USA zone ID, I guess, or is that the opposite? Is that saying if this zone ID is set to something, then creating standard shipping method? Is there an else to that if? I don't see an else if or else. Okay. Configure payment methods and tax rates as needed. Do you want to make this edit? Sure. Script ran but zone ID extraction failed. Empty string. No, I do not want you to create it manually. The issue is the grep pattern. Let me look at the actual response. Okay. Why is there 3 USA zones? Excuse me. How's that graphic coming along, Lazarus? Are you a vector art expert? Lame. Dude, you should totally become a vector art expert. Oh, more important things. Goodness. Terrible. Terrible. Let's see here. What is it doing now? No, it's not a useless skill. It will follow you. Oh my goodness. You'll be able to use that the rest of your life. And if all your Indian vector art experts quit on you, you don't need them. You just be like, okay, I'll just make the vector art myself. Yes, I can. I can see the emote. That's lovely. Come on, Claude, hurry up. Figure this out. Update the script so it'll create the stupid shipping, standard shipping in Vendor. That way I can continue on with checkout. Let's see. So actually, the real issue is that shipping methods of Vendor aren't directly assigned to zones. Okay. They're made available based on the shipping eligibility checker. The default checker should work for all orders. Let me check if there's an issue with how the order is set up. We can try a different approach. Check what the Vendor admin UI would show us. Okay. Alright. What is that, a pizza icon? Oh no, it's like a dinosaur. It's raptor or something. It's a raptor dinosaur. Nice. Alright, curl, post, shop API, what are we doing here? Query. Add item to order. Okay, so I think it's just testing. It's adding an item to the cart. Or the order. They're called orders in Vendor. Set order shipping address. Okay. Get eligible shipping methods. Okay. Looks like it failed, so it's going to check the actual shipping method. Oh, looks like it's, unless I'm misreading this, it looks like it came back blank. Yeah, still empty, cannot be configured properly via the admin UI. You'll need to manually configure it. Okay. All right, let's just go ahead and create that. Settings. Yeah, it created shipping methods. It created too many. I'm telling, let's see. Okay, I'm going to go back to the page here. Let's see. Let's take a look at this standard shipping. 5 to 7 business days. So the condition is it's using the default shipping eligibility checker. I wonder if this is causing it to not. Alright, it looks like it's gonna check for cookie file. What's it doing here? Get the shipping method info, curl, request, shipping methods, okay. Okay, check shipping and zone config. Let's see what that comes up with here. Okay, I see the issue. The shipping method checker has, has no arguments. Method checker. It should have order minimum argument. Also notice zones 2 and 3 have no members. The duplicate creation issue. The real issue is that the eligibility, yep, I was kind of suspecting this, the actual eligibility checker. Requires the order minimum argument, but it's not being set. Looking at the shipping method args, I only see rate and tax rate, but missing the includes taxes. Let me check the vendor documentation. Yeah, I'm not an expert on vendor for commerce. Looks like a pretty complex e-commerce like management system. Let's see, test eligible shipping methods. Let's see what it comes up with here. I don't know if it's referring to the minimum order value. Maybe that can't be 0 because it's currently just the minimum order value for the eligibility is 0. I don't know, maybe that's not a valid amount. Maybe it has to be like, I don't know, $5, $20. All right, let's see here. Do you want to make this edit? I guess. Translations. Standard shipping description, okay. Okay, so it's updating the existing shipping method. So the update method with translations now ensures it has the correct configuration. The shipping method was being created, but the order minimum argument wasn't being stored in the checker. Okay. Without order minimum, so I guess when it's 0, it just treats it as non-existent. The eligibility checker failed and returned no shipping methods. Fixed by adding an update step that includes translations. Properly sets all checker, calculator arguments. Okay, so maybe it's the actual eligibility checker itself. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and give that a shot. Cool. Alrighty. Let's go back to our store. Yes, I've never had it do that before. That was weird. Okay. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's really weird. Okay, that time it didn't ask for that. Okay. You know, that's kind of dumb. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, let's go to products. Oh, I got 4 products now. Interesting. And it's broken. That's fantastic. Let me see if there's an error here in I think you can see. No errors here. Let's clean that up. go back here. Let's take a look at our console. No errors here. Alright, let's tell ChatGPT. Let's have it take a look, see what's going on under the hood. While it does that, I will be right back. Alright, did AI take over my computer yet? Alright, let's see here. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, this is basically what I would do if I was writing this by hand. Just add a bunch of console logs to the process and see what's going on. Okay, so let's go back to the cart. Let's go to products. Let's pick one, and then I'm going to clear my logs on the server as well. Excuse me. There's nothing really on the server to really clear anyways, but click add and get a bunch of logs. Alright, I'm going to paste these into Notepad. There we go. Now you got my session ID. You can go hack me. if you can access my local server. Dev console, server console. And I might be able to, let's just see if I can identify it myself. Good luck to that. I mean, but yeah, I get your point. Let's see here. I'm on Linux, bro. It's not hackable. It's totally not hackable. How did you know? No, that is not my IP address. Thank you very much. You bring up a good point, though. Maybe I should stream through a VPN. .192.198.0.1. Come on, dude. It's 192.168.0.2. All right. Oh, it's 1. Okay. Let's see. I see the issue when you're logged in. I'm pretty sure you're talking about my router gateway, which is pretty standard for everybody. The fix will be not authenticate if there's already an active order with items. The guest cart should be preserved when logging in. All right, let's try that. So let's go ahead and clear our log, clear the server log. Let's go to product. Let's go to bam. Okay. Let's go ahead and drop all this into Notepad. Here's the dev console. Here's a bunch of server logs. All right, Claude, figure it out. I don't got time for this. We don't got time to spare. We gotta get this e-commerce cart done. Whoa, I'm not even done reading it. You just start going. Let's see, client adds item to order 20 as a guest. Server authenticates with Vendor. Where's Ethan when you need... Yeah, I think that you are a nerd. Alright, server load authenticates when you're creating a new customer session. Preserve the guest order when authenticating. Alright. Don't abandon me. I'm gonna be by myself. Just gonna be out here streaming by myself without anybody to watch or check it out. Man, I shouldn't have looked at X. It is depressing. Alright, let's see here. Auth.js authentication strategy creates a new vendor. I don't even remember what this is in my code. Let me take a quick look here. Oh, okay, that's just for authentication. Should automatically the external, let me read this. Let's see, the external authentication service dot create customer and user. The issue is, let's see here, the issue is that we're calling get active order before authenticating, which uses the guest sessions order. Then after authentication, we're getting a new session cookie, and when we call get active order again, it's looking for orders associated with the new customer session. Okay. We need to get the order ID before authenticating. Then after authentication, we need to ensure that the order is still associated with the session. Let me check vendor's documentation approach by testing with a direct graph query to see the current state. Alright, so it's going to try to get a active order. Order 17 exists with one item, no customer. It's going to authenticate. According to the logs from the previous user ID, was shown as part of the session. Let me check the actual user table to get a valid user ID. Users table is for H202 diary, and user singular table is for vendor users. I understand. Let me check the logs to see what ID we're sending. The core issue is guest session creates order of 20 items. Authentication happens. Yes. New vendor customer sessions created. Okay. Right, so it should transfer it. The fix needs to be in the vendor backend, not the front end. According to its documentation, when we call create customer and user, it should automatically assign the active order to the new customer. However, this might not be happening. Set customer for orders for guest checkout, not for linking existing orders. Yes. The real solution needs to be in the vendor auth.js strategy. Oh, thanks. That was great. I actually want it to authenticate server side. I don't want it to authenticate client side. To the newly authenticated. The current user's order to the newly authenticated. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Yes, the issues. Problem might be that we are calling get active order after authentication, which uses a different session. Let's see here. So let me check if there's a way to manually assign the order. Get active order, get active customer. Only authenticate if not already a vendor or customer. Okay, let's go ahead and test it. I'm going to clear the server log. Let's go ahead and add a item. I mean, it added something to the cart. Let's go ahead and copy this, put this into our notepad. Let's grab the server log. All right, let's drop all that into Claude. Let's go ahead and let it do its thing. Check it out. Okay, excellent. This is very revealing. Get active customers returning undefined. Okay, we're just going to jump up to the top again. So it's saying that the vendor session cookie is not being updated properly on the server side. The issue: when we authenticate on the server with URQL, vendor sends back a set cookie header with the new authenticated session, but URQL does not automatically apply this cookie to the subsequent request in the same function call. Let me check if we need to manually extract the cookie. The issue is clear now. Fetch exchange uses a static fetch options function that returns the same cookies for every request. When vendor updates the session cookie during authentication, we need to capture the new cookie and use it for subsequent requests. The solution is to use native fetch for the authentication call to capture the response headers. Then update the cookie headers. This looks very painful. Let's see, so iterate over the cookies, extract them. So set cookie. It's going to create the cookie header. It's going to log it, and then it's going to okay, Claude's getting way out of control here. This is actually kind of insane what it's trying to do here. Update cookies from headers. New vendor client. Create vendor client. Oh, thanks. Okay, let's see. Here's let's extract set cookie headers from vendor's response. Updates the cookies so they're sent back to the browser. Creates a new vendor service with the updated cookies. This should preserve the guest order when authenticating. What I want to know, why is it rebuilding the No. I don't think that's what you want to do. Yeah, I don't know what Claude's kind of starting to lose its mind like I am. Thank you. Yeah, we don't need to export that. Okay, so it's let's see here, vendor service. It's adding some methods. Authenticate with cookie update. update client cookies, and we're back at the top. Okay, let's try this again. Let's go ahead and so I just cleared the console for the server. wrong window. Okay, let's clean this up. Let's go to products. Uh-oh. Huh? I must have stopped it. I might have hit the stop button here. Let's see, start it back up. Alright, let's go back. Let's try it again. Come on. What? Why does that? I don't know what's going on. Apparently it's and now we're just getting a complete failure. Let's see, let's go back, see what's going on here. Get products failed to parse URL from undefined. So it looks like Claude's code change did not work. Let's go ahead and copy this into our notepad. I'm going to clean this up. Alright, let's just drop this into Claude Code, let it kind of figure it out. Let me check the client type. Let's see. Claude Code's getting really weird right now. It's having a breakdown. It's having an emotional breakdown. Wait, what did it just say? It said the client is created with URL. Should have the URL. Let me check the actual client type. The issue might be I need to access it differently. Let me simplify and just store the URL from the same source. Got to start the server back up. Okay, still blowing up. Let me give it some more instructions here. One sec. I'll show you. I'm just kind of typing this out here. You shouldn't need to modify the service set kit for the when the client is passed in, should already be a valid URL unless something you added in the code is clearing it. Let's try that. Let's see what happens. It is starting to get a little chilly. It's getting a little chilly. Not this client URL. Now refresh the page and share this. Okay. Let's make sure the server's running. Yep, still on. Boom. And it blew up. And I just killed the server. Oh well. I'm just copying the error output here just to give it an idea so it knows what's going on. I don't know why the client URL keeps getting undefined. No, do not export that function. There's a configuration class that is built. Oh, you can't see my screen, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just telling Claude there is a configuration class that is built during start of the app that contains the result method already. Use that if you need to get the URL. Let's see here. Do you have any idea why the client URL is undefined? This is strange. This is weird, but sometimes it helps. Tell it to take a deep breath. Before analyzing this. Yeah, apparently, I don't know, some of these models have some kind of, they have some kind of human nature behavior built into them. So as weird as it sounds, you have to tell it to slow down, take a step back, relax, and then kind of reapproach the problem, just like a real person. You have to, sometimes you need to get up, take a break, and then come back and look at the problem. Sometimes that helps you get through it. So the issue is clear now, it says. The URQL's client doesn't expose the URL as a public property. It's an internal implementation detail. So we shouldn't extract the URL from the client to store it separately when creating Vendor service. However, you mentioned there's a configuration class. Let me search for it. Yeah, there it is. Get app config. It's cleaning up a bunch of console logs. Okay, so there it is, getting the shop API URL. Passing it to the fetch class or function. Okay. Let's see what that does. Hey, what's up, Lazarus? Perfect. Now the code properly uses this. Okay, let's see what happens here. Let's go ahead and start the server back up. Clear this. Well, just let it start. Wow, just instantly tried to do something. It's thinking. Ooh. Okay, we got something. Okay, that's cool. Let's see here. The page keeps trying to load and it keeps failing. Alright, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to Notepad here and it did load the page this time. Seems your changes helped, but there are still problems happening. Let's see here. Let's go back to Claude. Whoa, wrong window. All right. Let's see what it comes up with. What do you think I don't know, man. I don't know. I thought I had it like working solid. And here I am just debugging through problems with the authentication. If you're like a guest and then you log in and then you go to add products, it's just breaking. It's not it's losing context of the order. And yeah, it breaks. I'm hoping in a day or so, because I got to get back to I got a lot of other projects I got to work on. All right, let's see here. What is this? Okay, cool. Let's see what that does. Okay, let me try that again. Let's go to products. Let's pull it up. Let's clear our console. I'm going to clear the server console. Boom. Okay, when I add a product to cart, the cart is empty. And I'm gonna grab my console log for the server, drop that here. Let's see here. All right, let's Alright, let's see here now. Test again, add product to the, okay. I have no idea what it just did here. Order after auth. Okay. Got too many windows open here. Let's see. Alright, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try it again. Let's see here, add to cart. Let's go back to, well, that's great. That looks really similar. Am I crazy or is that the same? No, it changes. Okay, so it's definitely getting a different session. So it created a new session. Alright, the real issue is, let's see. After researching Vendor's source code, I found that the issue is when Authenticate creates Authentication creates a new session, request context changes in the old session's orders not automatically transferred. Okay. Proper way to handle this is to use the same session, upgrade it to authenticated, rather than creating, okay, well, yeah. Is in the vendor backend, we need to modify the authentication strategy to preserve the order. Let me add order preservation logic to the authentication strategy. Oh. Oh, okay, I totally forgot about that. Okay. Active order service, okay. That makes sense. Alright, so let's see here. If we go to... Alright, we got a private active order service. Okay, so it's basically storing the service. Continue. So it's just assigning the service, active order service, and order service to private variables on this class. I guess it's gonna... It's just gonna... I guess it's gonna make those available to expose them via some additional methods. Okay, so right here... What are we modifying? Okay. Yeah, we're modifying that class, and then we're going to access the order service, add the customer to the order. Okay, so that will, if they have an active order and not a customer, we'll add them to that existing order. Okay, if they're a user. All right, that makes sense. And then right here, associate active order with a new customer. Oh, then you have to actually say add customer to, no, it's the same method. Okay, if they have an active order and they're a customer, associate with the existing. Okay, this one's... I guess both of these work. I guess it does the same thing. But why do you need... I don't know what's going... Let me ask it. Let's see here, customer to order in both places. It seems, you know what? What is it saying here? So if there's an active order, and regardless of whether... Oh, okay, it's going to exit out of this one. Okay, and I'm just going to let it continue, because that's going to exit out of the code flow. It's not even going to go down here. But if it doesn't go into this flow, because there's no vendor user, it's going to create a new user and then associate with that new user. Okay, let's see here. Yep, continue. Alright, perfect. The vendor's authentication strategy will capture the active order before creating finding the customer. Okay, whatever. I just read through the code. It should restart automatically. I didn't start the vendor service. I'm going to see if I can have Cloud Code start the service, the vendor service. All right. Hey there, SynDev. I love pie. What's up? I'm stuck in Vendor integration hell right now, trying to get my web app to talk to the Vendor e-commerce server. It's a bit of a pain. You're trying to figure out why your node multi-threaded hash calculation code that hashes multiple files in parallel isn't working. Node multi-threaded. Wow, that's interesting. Hash calculation. Does Node actually technically does it properly implement multi-threaded support? No errors, no output. Oh, worker threads, okay. No errors, no. That's kind of insane. Are you running it from the command line like node and then you're just like launching some script? Let's see. If order and not a customer, then add them to the order. Sure, why not? Oh, it's an Electron app. Interesting. Is it like swallowing the errors? I don't build like Electron apps. I'm familiar with Electron. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's just another like node framework or library. Oh, it's just if it's just pure node, can you directly execute the like your pure node code? Can you just launch that without all the extra layers of the Electron app, like without starting Electron? It's still no output. Like there's nothing, like if you type it in the command line or you however you're running it, you don't like nothing outputs at all. Like it should at least tell you it failed or it just can't start. And with multi-threading, if you're using if you're using worker nodes, I mean it's the same concept. Multi-threading no matter what the language you're in. If you can't figure out exactly what's going on, like if it doesn't tell you like a line number and give you a stack trace, I highly recommend just doing some old-fashioned console.log outputs and seeing how far it gets, and you can just move that around until you figure out where it basically drops out of the throws an exception or drops out of your execution. Let's see, you should automatically transfer the order, but the request context might be getting recreated. Okay. But yeah, especially with multi-threading, console logs are your friend. And then try to come up with like a way to identify like what worker. I don't know if with worker threads, if you have an ID. You should have some sort of an ID or a count or number. Yeah, they have a worker thread ID. Yeah, you could try. What you could do is you could do console logs, and then you could output something like. I mean, this is just a quick Google search I did, but you could try like something like worker.thread ID, and you put that into your console log message, so you know which thread is actually outputting that console log in case you're getting into like a race condition. I mean, I don't know if you're getting errors. It might actually be executing, but it might be executing like error free, but you won't know what's actually happening if you get some sort of race condition and they start stomping on each other, since you're doing like multi-threading. You can see the messages being sent to threads, but after that, like your debugger just like it just doesn't do anything else, or just the application ends and then it stops executing. Let's see here. So back to should automatically transfer the order, but the request context might be getting recreated when the session changes. Nothing. I don't know. Can you describe what you mean? Like nothing, as in it just quits. The debugger stops, like it detaches and just from the process, or it stops executing and it seems fine, but there's like nothing being output in your log or in the console. Oh, that's good. They're receiving their tasks. Let me see if I can pull something up here. Let's see. While I start my server, I just pulled up an example of like using worker threads. Fibonacci, method, main thread. Okay, and then we're going to create a worker. Are you sending it messages to the worker, or are you... Is that what you mean by tasks? Okay. Okay, so they were okay. So message. So you've got a worker dot on message, and you're seeing something happening inside of that. Do you have console logs in there? Like you can see like, oh, line one got called or whatever. I'd be curious. Okay, so you're sending it messages, and then it's gonna execute. Let's see. It's a message board object in Node. Enables communication between the worker and the parent thread. Okay. Oh, okay. That's sending the message back to the parent thread. Okay. Or main thread. Use it to listen to messages sent from the main thread via worker.postMessage. Interesting. What is the message event? Oh, okay, okay. That makes more sense. Okay. Okay, so messages to the main thread are going to go through the parent port first, and then it's going to call Fibonacci, then it's going to post the result, and then that's going to trigger the worker message event for that worker. Or no, it's actually, well, let's see here, it's going to, alright, let's see here, let's go back. Sorry, I'm also debugging something else here on the side. Let's see. What is going on? Okay, let's see. What did it say? Whoa, what happened to my chat? Oh, wrong window. Sorry. Alright, main threads checks. Are we on the main thread? Okay, so it creates a new worker. Alright. Sends tasks to the worker, sending it 45. Starts it. Now, okay, so it's gonna re-execute this whole section. Oh, then it goes through the parent port. Is that correct? Am I reading this right? Main thread sends task, post message 45, worker thread starts. Same file reloads. Okay. We're no longer on the main thread. Listens for message, sends a message, gets 45. Okay. Interesting. So once it starts the worker call here, it's basically gonna be, this is gonna be false. Then it's gonna go down. I think to parent ports on message. Yeah, it's gonna get 45. Okay, so it ends 45. Get the result. And then the final post message on the parent port. And then it'll finally end up here and then give you the result. That's wild. Oh, nice, nice. Congrats on that, dude. Yeah, multi-threading's no joke. That's kind of interesting. You gotta basically create hashes for files. And like, so I guess you got so many files that you have to do multi-threading. Because obviously if you're having to use multi-thread it, you're having to do a lot of processing. It's probably a lot of files. What the heck is Claude Code doing here? Let's see. Yeah, heck yeah. Send dev for the win. Good, that shows the product page loaded. Okay, now what about when you add a product, go to the cart? I gotta change my hotkeys. Every time I do that, it kills my server. All right. Yeah, that was all Cinda. He figured it out, not me. I suck at worker threads. I don't use them very often. Don't be too pushy, Lazarus. All right, customer service, key to finding returning. Let's see. Alright, the issue is clear now after the first authentication, which created the customer. All subsequent authentications just return the existing customer without transferring any new guest order. Okay. You need to manually check for and transfer guest orders, even when returning an existing customer. Okay. Yeah, seriously. You had a generic message handler that was bound to the worker delegate that was then calling the associated message handler, but it was using wrong parameters. Oh, like for your... Let me go back to that. Wait, one sec. Sorry. I wish I could see your code, but I don't expect you to show it to me. Like the message handler, like the result, like the signature on the handler method was wrong. Or calling post message with the wrong parameters. Yeah, hopefully it does fix it. Yeah, it's pretty cool though you're using worker threads. That's it's rare I see people using Node efficiently to do stuff like that. Yeah, nodes any language really is fast if you use it right. Uh-oh. I think I have not debugged. Don't bang your head on the desk, it won't help. I have not debugged worker threads. I've done pretty much no node work with worker threads. I have done some multi-threading work, but I don't. Where I've dealt with multi-threading, it seems like I've always run into challenges with debugging. It's like the debugger is not able to capture. Well, actually, some do actually do a really good job of it, but I'm wondering if the debugger is not able to track the actual worker threads that are basically being spun off as like sub processes of your main process, and so it's not tracking them. And I wouldn't even worry about the breakpoints as much as I would just. Oh, okay. You're just debugging like the main entry point script, like the main thread. Catch the message coming back. Oh, the end result. Yeah. If I go back to this example, oops, wrong screen. This right here is supposed to be. Let me go back through this process here. Let's see. The worker sends a result back through the parent port. I just got to reread this to. Okay, so when this happens, let's see, calls post message with the computed value. So it's posting a message to the parent port, and then it's going to go back up to the main thread. And it's going to trigger it's back up at the main thread, and then it's going to basically, that worker's message event is going to actually, it's going to trigger the callback. Let me double check this here. Yeah, it'll trigger the callback. So this happens, then it triggers the callback for the actual worker that you created. And apparently the parent port it's an object and node worker thread that enables communication. You're trying to catch the message coming back from the worker thread. It enables communication between the worker and the parent thread. So parent port on message, it's going to calculate, post the result, and then that's going to trigger the worker thread. It's going to get the message. I would imagine if you had multiple worker threads, they would all be getting messages from the parent port calling post message. Try to catch the message coming back from the. Yeah, okay. I already read that message. Sorry, I keep repeating myself. Sorry, I'm just reading through this, following the process. Worker listens for message. Parent port on message receives a number. What's weird is that the worker thread starts, it sends, posts a message, and then apparently the parent port listener is actually going to receive that message that was called earlier. So basically the sequence of events is it'll call post message, it'll come back into this file, no longer the main thread. This callback right here is going to trigger, process, then it's the calculate a number, and then it's going to post that number, and then this is going to trigger. Okay. Because when this happens, apparently, that's the part that kind of trips me up. When it calls post message here, it's going to go back to, it's going to be the main thread when the parent port message event triggers, which is a bit of a trip. Post message. Okay, it's not actually going to do that. It's actually just going to, this worker that you created earlier on the main thread is going to listen to this post message. Okay. Parent port is the child thread. Worker is the main thread. Oh, gotcha. Because according to AI, it's saying that the parent port dot post message is for sending messages back to the main thread. And you're saying that, yeah, okay, yeah, because the main, gotcha, so the worker is actually listening on the main thread. Interesting. If you're using parent port, you're in the worker. Okay. It's kind of a strange name. Kind of a weird way to call it. Okay. Come on. Oh, yeah, that'll be a problem. Yeah, in this example, it looks like it's just calling parent port.post message from within the worker itself. Upon, I guess, calculating the number, doing its work. So when it does its work, it calls parent port.post message. I like this other example. It's a little simpler. Create a worker, do some work, post to the parent port, and then it's gonna, once it calls parent port dot post message, that will get, that'll, okay. I see. So parent port dot post message is just how you, it's basically just a way in Node to indicate to the worker, to basically indicate some like way of messaging back to that worker thread that it's done, or here's the result or whatever. And then it'll, I assume it'll just, that's when that worker will be maybe closed or ended. Here, post message. Oh, okay. It just dawned on me why I didn't understand this first example. It's creating a new worker instance, passing it the current file that it's being created in. So it's actually the worker thread is actually re-executing the file again. Okay, now I get what I missed that one little detail there. Whoops. All right, now it makes sense. Guest order ID. All right, come on, let's see here. How's it going, SendDev? Did you figure it out? Or did you pass out from banging your head on the table? Alright, let's see here. Let's go back to the Okay, get rid of the active order service. I might actually have to switch models on my Claude to something else. Getting kind of tired of the Sonnet 4.5. That's probably been my problem all along. Alright, we're switching models. Go back to Opus. Opus. Hey, hook me up with a follow syndev before you head out. Looks like you're buried in your code again. No, you're good. That's weird. Only some of the messages. Actually, you gave me a thought. I'm wondering, for logging purposes, so if you're importing or requiring from worker threads, you can get the thread ID and you can use that in your console logs. So you could like put console logs inside your worker and then inside the parent port event, and then you can kind of track where the holdup is, which ones aren't spitting out the messages that aren't coming through. All right, let's see here. Get active order for user, looks for orders. Should be found. All right. Yeah, I think once you get worker threads mastered, you'll be pretty legit node developer. I've been doing JavaScript in Node for years, and like I've never really had the need for worker threads. I could see it though being more useful for desk, not, well, yeah, I guess you could call it a desktop app, like Electron apps and stuff. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, okay, that makes total sense. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you're doing C and C++, multi-threading is way different. I think it's, to me, the way multi-threading works in C. Now, I haven't like, I got to brush up on my C++. It's been, the last version I wrote something in was like C13, but I think it was version 13 C++. But it, I did a little brushing up on some of the multi-threading stuff, and it actually looks easier than than Node to me. I mean, it's not, but I mean, I'm not saying it is easier, just that the appearance seems like conceptually it's like, it seems to me like it's a little bit easier to understand and follow as long as you know what exactly type of mutex you're using to do a lock on your code that's accessing stuff. But there's also like 5 or I don't know how many different mutex like types that you can use, which can get confusing. Yeah, definitely give me a follow if you can though, because I might start doing a little bit of C++ with a game engine, Go Dot, and I might need I might have some questions for you. Let's see here. It worked. It finally flipping worked. Um, the order transfer is working now. Alright, let's see here. The server updated the vendor session cache. Uh-oh. Might be multiple active orders for my current user. Oh, that explains it. Whoa, what's going on here? What the hell? Stop scrolling up. Alright, let's see here. So, page. Clear solutions make the computation go through the Svelte kit server using form actions, the direct browser to vendor calls. Alright, I'm gonna have to call it a night. Catch you guys later. I hope you get that figured out, the multi-threading and or the worker threads in Node syndev. Hook me up with a follow though. It'd be cool to stay in touch. Alright guys, good night.